On a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, tapping at my chamber door, "only this and nothing more." Ah, distinctly I remember, it was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, vainly I had sought to borrow from my books a crease of sorrow, sorrow for the lost Lenore, for the rare and radiant maiden who the angels named Lenore, nameless here for evermore. And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before, so that now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, "'Tis some visitor, entreating entrance at my chamber door." Some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. It is, and nothing more. Pleasantly my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. "Sir," I said, "or madam, truly your forgiveness I implore. But the fact is I was napping, so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping at my chamber door, that I was sure I heard you. Here I opened wide the door. Darkness there, and nothing more. Deep into the darkness peering, long I stood, for those wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming, dreams no mortal had ever dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token, and the only words that were spoken were the whispered words, "Lenore." Then I whispered an echo, murmured back to the word Lenore, merely this and nothing more. All my soul within me burning, soon again I heard a tapping, somewhat louder than before. "Surely," I said, "surely that is something at my window lattice. Let me see, then, what thereat is, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be as still a moment, and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind, and nothing more." Open here I flung the shutter, when with many flirt and flutter, and there stepped a stately raven of the stately days of yore. Not the least obscenence he made, not a minute stopped or stayed, he, but with mine of lord or lady, perched above my chamber door, perched upon the palace just above my chamber door, perched and sat and nothing more. Then this ebony bird, beguiling my sad fancy into smiling by the grave of the stern decorum and the countenanced war. "Do thy crest be shorn and shaven," I said, "art sure no craven, ghastly grim and ancient raven, wandering from the nightly shore? Tell me what thy lordly name is on thy night's Plutonian shore." Quoth the raven, "Nevermore." This ungainly fowl to hear to discourse so plainly, though its answer little meaning, little relevancy bore, for we cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing bird above his chamber door, bird or beast upon the sculpted bust above the chamber door, with such name as Nevermore. But the raven, sitting lonely on a placid bust, spoke only that one word, as if his soul in that one word did he outpour, nothing further than he uttered, not a feather than he fluttered, till I scarcely more than muttered, "Other friends have flown before. On the morrow he will leave me as my hopes have flown before." Then the bird said, "Nevermore." startled at the stillness broken by reply so aptly spoken. Doubtless, I said, what it utters is only stock and store, cut from some unhappy master whom merciful disaster followed fast and followed faster, till his songs one burden bore, till the dirges of his hope the melancholy burden bore of nevermore. My sad fancy into smiling, straight when I wheeled a cushioned seat in front of the bird and bustin' door. Then upon my velvet sinking, I betook myself to linking, fancy unto fancy thinking, what the ominous bird of yore. Was it a grim, ungainly, ghastly, gaunt, and ominous bird of yore, meant in croaking, nevermore? Then I sat engaged in guessing, but no syllable expressing, to the fowl whose fiery eyes now burned into my bosom's core. This and more I sat divining, with my head at ease reclining on the cushion's velvet lining that the lamps gloated o'er, but whose velvet violet lining with the lamplight gloating o'er he shall press, nevermore. Methought the air grew denser, perfumed from an unseen censer, swung by a seraphim whose foot falls tinkled on the tufted floor. Wretch, I cried, thy God hath lent thee, by the angels he hath sent thee. Respite, and nepenthe from the memories of Lenore. Quaff, oh quaff, this kind, forget this lost Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, I said, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, whether the tempter sent, or whether the temptress tossed thee here ashore, desolate yet undaunted on this desert land enchanted, on his home by horror haunted, tell me truly, I implore, is there balm in Gilead? Tell me, I implore, quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, I said, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, by that heaven that God spins before us, and by God we both adore. Tell this soul of sorrow laden, if within distant Aden I shall clasp the sainted maiden, whom the angels named Lenore, clasp a rare and radiant maiden, who the angels named Lenore, quoth the raven, nevermore. Be that word or sign in parting, bird or friend, I shrieked on starting. Get thee back into the tempest of the night's plutonium shore. Leave the black plume as a token of thy lie thy soul hath spoken. Leave thy loneliness unbroken. Quit the bust above my door. Take thy beak from out my heart, and take thy form from off my door. Quoth the raven, nevermore. And the raven, never flitting, still is sitting on the pallid bust of Pallas just above my chamber door, and his eyes of all the seeming of a demon's that's dreaming, and the lamplight o'erin streaming through the shadows on the floor, and my soul from out that shadow that lies floating on the floor shall be lifted nevermore.